Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Sala here. Today we are continuing where we left in my last video actually. So last time I made these, let's take that out for a minute. I made these two pockets. This single pocket right here and also this thing that has three pockets, one on the back, one here, and one on the side. So now our agenda is to fill those 4 pockets. So 4 journaling cards or tags is what I'm going to make today. The prompt for today is stamps on book pages. And I have been stamping, as you can see. I basically already made the first one. I'm going to add some decoration to this. I'm thinking stitching along the edges and probably some sort of a word somewhere. I don't know yet, but that's what I'm thinking. I wanted to keep this page kind of like black and white as it is, or actually the whole spread, so I'm probably going to craft with neutral colors today. I'm going back to my old way of doing things, so I'm going to speed up the video and then I'm going to do a voiceover, but please let me know. It would be fun to know what videos do you like to watch. Do you like longer ones, shorter ones? Do you like voiceover or real-time crafting? Just tell me, what kind of videos do you like? I'm not promising that I will change anything at all, but it would just be interesting to know what types of videos crafty people in YouTube actually prefer. So let me know. And now it's crafty time. Oh, one more thing before I get started. In case somebody is wondering, these are all older stamp sets, so they are not probably available anymore. You might even have something like this in your stash. But the stamp sets that I used was this one from Bow Bunny Tea Party stamp. Then I had this one from Stamperia, Secret Diary from, yes, Stamperia, like I said. Then I had this Woodware Craft Collections clear stamp set. I only used these two though. These are also really cool, but for some reason I only used these two. Then I chose the butterfly, the rings, and also this little chart here to stamp on some book pages. So that's all. Now we can get started, I think. Like I mentioned before, I wanted to start with this one that I've already went ahead and stamped on, the first journal card. So I just took a pencil and made some stitching lines around it. I could have also taken my sewing machine and sewn around it, like, you know, really sewn around it. But I think this is also a great technique, especially for somebody who perhaps doesn't have a sewing machine. It just adds a little bit of extra. There we go. Then I had the tea time text that I had stamped on some coffee dyed paper. I wanted to use that as well. I think I backed it up with something first. Yes, I did. I just took some brown cardstock and went to town with it. There we go. Obviously had to add some vintage photo first. The ink I'm using. I think this is a technique that is definitely going to stay in my repertoire for a bit. I don't use my stamps nearly as much as I should, but now that I did, I realized how much fun it is. I have definitely hoarded quite a collection of them, so why not just use them? I don't know. I think it's just sometimes I'm a little bit too comfortable in my craft room. I keep on using the same products mainly because they are easily available. They're right here. Then, to decorate the rest of the pocket fillers, which is 2 tags and 1 journaling card, I chose to, well, first I'm rounding the corners or snipping off the top corners from the tags. At least one of them, I think, yes, the second one as well. But I just took some really neutral papers. Then I took some parts of my Heartful Hodgepodge kit. This strip that I'm using right here is from the Hale Herbology kit from Be Happy Stationery, the kit that I've been using along this Junk Journal July UK journey that I've been on. These tickets are from my Heartful Hodgepodge kit. And then, of course, I wanted to add some stamped details. There I was thinking, what could I add? What could I do? So I decided to add some doodles. I think I actually went and done the same thing for all of the tags and journal cards that I have, all 3 of them. I just did a little bit different things on them. I got a huge blob on there, on the corner. So I just went back in there to got some more paint. That was my paint puddle that I was using. But yes, I did a different thing for all of the pieces. I think I even did some splatters in the end. It's been a few days since I've filmed this video, so what I do is just as surprising to you as it is to me. So yes, splatters it is. And my pour table, I definitely should cover it a little bit more whenever I'm doing stuff like this. But I didn't. I also wanted to do some stenciling. Once again, I'm taking the vintage photo ink. I have distress oxide version. I wanted some really light patterns on the tag, and I wanted there to be, I wanted the pattern kind of fade out. So I only did stronger patterns here and there and then faded it out. But I'm using old packaging, so basically craft cardstock, which is really forgiving when it comes to this. But I just think those backgrounds, they are quite magical. I try to make them all a little bit different, although they are clearly serious. Then I went back to organizing my bits and pieces, trying to figure out how I wanted them to be. And some inking has to be done, of course. Whenever I'm making clusters like this, I try to try different things. I often want something to hang out from the edge rather than just putting everything in the middle. Something goes, portrait, something goes landscape. I try to do different sorts of things. For this one, the wild card, so to speak, that I did was that I tore off the end of the ticket just to make it look like, I don't even know what, more realistic or something. I don't know, whimsical. That's just something I ended up doing because I have the Tim Holtz perforator and I had used that on the ticket. So it was easy to tear. And then I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to put it. I had no clue. It's always like that for me. Everything else might just go down without any issues. Then there's the one piece that I have no clue what to do with. Then I'm just adding my butterflies. They're just small ones, but because they are so dark, I think they actually work as a focal point because the rest of the tack is quite neutral and light. I might have added some doodling around the edges after I did this inking, or maybe I did so at the end, I'm not sure. I was also playing around with the idea of putting one of those stamped things or texts on it, but I chose against it. Instead, I just punched a hole, took 2 hole reinforcers, and used those. It's just, again, you can see that I'm using recycled packaging, which is something I do a lot. Even though what I make might not be junk journaling in the traditional way, I often try to include some elements from it, like this my style, which is using the packaging quite a lot. Then I took some waxed cord and made a bow. I think that's just super cute. There we go, that's the second one done. Then after the third one, I definitely wanted to use this beautiful, beautiful butterfly. And the other edge of the stamped chart that I believe I cut it off from the last tack. I have no clue what my camera was doing there. It might have been just my phone screen. If the video froze for a bit for you, or if it didn't, I don't know. But if it did, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. I'm thinking I might need to buy a new phone here soon because often when I'm filming, it does the strangest things. And appears like it did some right now when it's showing me the video as I talk. So there might be something wrong with it. So it might be time to purchase a new one. But I quite like this one. So yes, that piece of paper, I felt like it. The pieces that I had on the desk didn't really offer much of contrast. I could have brought in some really colorful tickets or something, but I chose against it because the pockets that I've made on the page are quite neutral, so I kind of wanted to follow the same pattern all the way to these pocket fillers. So I just took a scrap piece of, that's actually also from a kit of mine. It's from the vintage journal cards. It's a freebie on my coffee shop. I will try to link it down below. Those are, or that is from one of the backgrounds that I offer in the kit. And next I took some more ink and inked around the edges. I'm not sure. I know I did doodling at least around the smallest stack, but maybe I didn't do it for the other two. I don't know. It looks like I'm putting them in there quite comfortably, or I don't know. I had a bit of a problem because I wanted to add some sort of a tab for this smallest tag. And as you could see, I had the whale tail bunch, or the tab bunch, but that was a little bit too big. So I simply cut it off, all the fun edges, and made it kind of like a rectangle instead with rounded corners, which is something anybody could do. You can just fold some paper in half, cut out a rectangle, and just round the corners for a simple, easy tag. It's often easy to forget whenever you are watching junk journaling or journaling videos online or browsing Pinterest that you can do this hobby with just a few supplies. Like the things I'm doing here today, I'm basically using a stencil, a couple of different pencils, some book baits, even one stamp set might be enough, and then I'm just using different scraps of paper, so it really doesn't take much. And even though I'm not using that much here, I think these still turn out quite interesting and beautiful. So there we go. I needed to make my piece a little bit bigger, smaller, to make it fit a little bit better. And I was trying so hard to make that torn out flower work, but I just couldn't handle it. I had to cut it out. And so, yes, I definitely cut it out eventually. It just wasn't working for me. There we go. At first I was gluing the two pieces together. That is one way to make sure that you get everything the way you want them to be. Because especially when you are having multiple elements that you have a certain placement in mind for, it's really easy to have things change in the process of gluing things down, even though you didn't really want it to change. So, and for this tag, I decided to add the prompt, which was stamps on book pages. So I just glued it out down on the top right corner. Then I decided to take some washi tape. I wasn't happy with that color. I think, yes, I took something a little bit stronger in color. There we go. And then just put the flower on it. I think I also decided to put that on. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, it's been a few days since I've filmed this. So, and I have my journal right in front of me, but things are in the pockets and I don't want to make all sorts of crinkly sounds as I'm taking things out and putting them back in. So that's why. Then I added some ink to the word, so yes, it looks strongly like I'm putting it right there. There we go. I can't remember. I think I added the butterfly as well. It was a little bit too strong for me, or there was too much contrast. So because I'm using the Distress Oxide ink, which is a little bit like creamy, and I just put some of that on, and it covered the black ink just a little bit. And with these doodles, I think I'm pretty much done with this third tack. And I will show you the results in a bit once I'm done doodling, which might take forever. Yeah, I just love it. It's like my new favorite thing right now. So, here is what I got made today. Here's the first journal card that I just finished. Then we have the long tack. There we go. I hope you enjoyed this process of me creating some pocket fillers. Let me know which one was your favorite. I think this was mine. It has a huge butterfly and some mixed media background showing, so yes. And then this third one here. If you liked the video, please show it with leaving me a thumbs up. Leave some kind of comment below, that really helps. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye for now.